This is Steve Ridgel, and I want to tell you a little bit about my friends, Tomas and Allison. Now, I've got to tell you, I don't know them well because I really just met them, but I did get a little bit of their story. Tomas was born again, baptized at Southside Church of Christ in Fort Worth about a year ago, and he became a passionate follower of Jesus. And then he and Allison fell in love, and as they got ready to get married, they talked a lot about Jesus. Got married 2 or 3 weeks ago, right before Christmas. And as they had been talking through that, he was encouraging her to make the decision to be born again because they wanted to live their life together in Jesus. Well, Sunday morning, about a week ago, she woke up and said, "Today's the day. I want to do that. Let's find somewhere I want to be baptized, be born again, become a Christian." And so they showed up at Hillcrest. Some of our people met them, and I don't know how it happens. Now, it happens at Hillcrest more than you would think, where people show up and say they want to be baptized, partly because, well, we're a Church of Christ and we have strong reputation about baptism, but Hillcrest has a reputation for baptizing a lot of people, so people show up. So when they came, they just told some people, we want to be baptized. So I got to meet them, and several of us sat down and we visited a little bit, and they decided they wanted to be baptized. Now, there's two parts of that story. She did. There's two parts of that story that are really neat. One is I kept watching this newlywed couple, and I kept hearing him say, "We need to make disciples. We want to be disciples. We want to be followers." I was really struck by that. He was really intense about sharing Jesus with her. And I was really intense about how badly she wanted to do it. Now, the things that make this really interesting, I did the welcome that Sunday morning at church at Hillcrest. And as I often do, I just said, today's going to be a great day. This is going to be a great year. Who knows what God is going to do? God is going to bring people that are seeking Him. God is going to bring people to start their Jesus journey. Just, kind of like we do a lot. We live in expectation that God's going to do great things. And then that very day, Allison and Tomas show up. I'm continually amazed how you ask God and expect things from God, and He says, "Okay, here." That was really impressive. Another thing makes this story interesting. I love the people at Southside and Fort Worth. Now, oddly enough, I know a couple of them. I know one of their staff guys well, good guy. I know one of their, he may even be an elder now, but he's real good friends with my son's family and love them. And they're all at Southside. And I just think, how neat is it that we had that connection? And so I love those people at Southside and Fort Worth for studying with Tomas, for helping Tomas decide to be born again. But then, as some of y'all know, Hillcrest is going through a building renovation. One of the problems we've got is our baptistry is about done. It's old and it's setting on top of 55-gallon drums filled with concrete, and it's right above the sewer system, and it's not a good situation. So, because we have some difficulty with it, we typically, when somebody wants to be baptized, we fill it, heat it, and it takes about 8 hours. Or they go in really cold water after about an hour. So when she said she wanted to do it right then, and I wasn't even thinking. I said, "Great." And somebody said, "We don't have water. It'll take a few hours." And she said, "I don't care if it's cold." And I thought, how great is that? But I thought, we're not going to do that to you. So here's what's neat about fellow churches. Probably the closest church to us is University Church of Christ, just right kind of across the ACU campus. Well, I knew a lot of guys there, and there were happened to be two couples standing there working with all this who used to be at university, and they knew people at university too. So grabbed the phone, texted, and Barry Young met us up there and let us in the building, and we used the university church baptistry. Now, that was kind of neat for me because back probably 40 years ago, I probably baptized 100 or so college kids in that baptistry. So that was kind of a neat thing. But I appreciated university was thrilled to open their building to let us baptize somebody. Southside, Hillcrest, all working together to help people find Jesus. It was a great Sunday. I love Tomas and I love Allison for their commitment to try to follow Jesus. And they want to make more disciples. So I look forward to what God's going to do in the future. Because if we ask and expect, God shows up and the kingdom grows.